But hey, if you want a very effective one-tap in close range, this ammo type has got you, man. So hello gamers, the Saiga 12 is one of Phantom Force's most used shotguns, and shotguns are pretty used in Phantom Forces overall, so having a very popular one is pretty surprising considering like this is a mid-rank shotgun and it has a lot of ammo types. So today I'm going to be ranking every single ammo type on the Saiga 12. Let's just start it right off with the Flechette ammo type. Now Flechette is a pretty interesting conversion because it adds something to a shotgun that's generally speaking not there at all, which is wall penetration, and most shotguns have about 0.5 studs. That's as much as a 9mm submachine gun, so not very much. You can't penetrate most walls with a shotgun, but Flechette will give you the opportunity to, in this case, penetrate 4 times the number of walls. That's as much as like a 7.62 assault rifle. And with that ability, you would think that there would be massive drawbacks, and you're right, there are massive drawbacks to this one. There used to not be. It used to just basically be a direct upgrade, but now it will actually reduce your damage by a lot. In this case, you go from 28 or 27 damage to 21, which means instead of your gun killing in 4 out of 8 pellets, it's 5 out of 8 pellets, which is not really that great. You get a little bit better max damage range, but it doesn't matter because you lose so much damage. So overall, your pellets are going to do worse damage, but they will be able to penetrate more walls. Honestly, I don't really like Flechette that much. I don't think that the wall penetration is really that helpful, I'm not gonna lie, and the damage loss, so I don't really like the Flechette ammo type, but it's pretty good on the DBV12. I'm gonna give this one probably a 7 out of 10. It's very good, it's good in its own right, but it's just not super great in my opinion, not really worth it overall. Next up, we have the 223 Remington ammo type, which I'm gonna be real, a lot of people like this, and honestly, I'm gonna break the illusion for you guys. It's not good, and there's a gun that does it literally better in every single way. It shoots the same speed, but it has better pen, velocity, recoil, reserve ammo, reload speed, multipliers, hits to kill, everything about the Type 20 with the extended magazine is better than this gun is. I'm not saying that this is a bad gun or anything. It's a 650 RPM 4 to a 5 shot, which is really not that great. 650 RPM, you want to be a 3 shot. Type 20's got you. It's got a 2 shot headshot, it's got a 4 shot to the torso at range. This is going to be a 5 shot, 3 shot in close range, and not be able to 2 shot headshot. So it's really not that great. Also, the recoil is especially bad with this setup, but it's really not super great overall. Just I'm using a muzzle brake and no grip, so it's not really going to be super great with this setup, but it's an alright conversion. I'm not going to lie. It's not super great. The 80 reserve ammo is kind of annoying. The recoil is kind of annoying. The damage is really not the best. So this conversion used to be better back when it could 3-hit kill. It only had a 30 round mag, but I really like a 3-hit kill on my slower firing assault rifles. So this is kind of a dookie fart assault rifle. I'm going to give it probably a 6 out of 10. I feel like Flechette for the shotgun use is better. This is just a pretty generic, not that great assault rifle. Like, you can get kills with it. But next up, we have the Birdshot ammo type, and this is actually pretty popular even after the Birdshot nerf, and I can kind of see why. You lose a lot of range, a lot of velocity, a lot of pen, and a lot of damage, as well as some of your spread with the Birdshot ammo type, but instead of 8 pellets, you have 16, and on a semi-auto shotgun that is really best used for close range anyway. Holy, I'm not killing this guy. That is really not too bad. You go from a 4 to a 5 pellet kill, which is really not too bad. That's the same number of pellets to kill as Flechette. However, you have a much worse max damage range, so you're going to lose your 5 pellet kill and go down to a 6 pellet kill pretty quickly, and your spread is going to fall off at range. But this is not a long range gun, and it's definitely not a long range conversion. So if you're really going for close range only, you can expect a little bit more one taps when you're using the Birdshot ammo type. I think it's a really good ammo type for those who just want... What are you doing? To basically eviscerate and obliterate anything in close range. Pretty cool. I don't think it's a really great ammo type overall. Like, I don't know how I killed from 63 studs on a full health guy there because, you know, Birdshot moment. But hey, if you want a very effective one-tap in close range, this ammo type has got you, man. I'm gonna give this one, honestly, a 9 out of 10. I feel like this is one of the best Birdshot ammo type shotguns in the game because it's so regulated for close range. It's got the RPM, and this basically just makes it even more of an effective one-tap. I really don't have a problem one-tapping with the Saiga, and I kind of like to have a little bit more range on the Saiga because I'll usually fire a couple of follow-up shots to kill people at longer ranges, but as you can see, I am rolling through these guys. This is a 9 out of 10 ammo type. It is very good on this gun. Not really the best on other shotguns, but very good for this one. But then we have 9x19mm parabellum, aka the Saiga 9. Now, the Saiga 9 is pretty weird. You lose a bit of range with this, which is funny. You gain a tiny bit of pen, and your gun basically becomes a 38 to 19 damage burst PDW, and this has some burst delay, so it's not like the PPK-12. You can kind of think of this as a scaled up PPK-12 that does a little bit more damage, but fires slower, bursts slower. The burst delay is really not the worst, but it's not the best either. But the damage itself is pretty good. It doesn't have the greatest headshot multi, but I still think it's able to 2-shot headshot and 3-shot body. The max damage range is really not that great though. So maybe the PPK-12 is going to have a better 3-hit kill range, but it's about the same here, and this does a little bit more ranged damage, but it has a slower RPM. It has way more burst delay. I'm not going to lie, this is not really the best, but it is an interesting conversion, and I don't think it's really too bad, but I'll give it a 6 out of 10 because it really is a PPK-12. I think they were added at the same time, or very close to the same time, and it's really not something that I see too much or would really recommend. Not to say it's like the worst conversion in the game or anything, but yeah, I don't really recommend you pre-buy it or anything. But if you have a lot of Saiga kills, try it out. It's really not too bad. I find myself, you know, getting some kills with it, but, you know, not actually popping off as hard as I would with something like Birdshot or any other really shotgun Saiga conversion, because that's the bread and butter of this gun, in my opinion. It's the freaking shotgun, you know, because it's a Saiga 12. But next up, we have rubber pellets. Now, rubber pellets are absolutely atrocious, and I've talked about this in other videos. Basically, they give you terrible range, terrible damage to the body because they increase damage by a tiny bit in close range, but mega reduce it in long range, as well as giving you a 0.7 times torso multi. So instead of doing 29 damage like they're supposed to, they do more like, you know, 18 damage a pellet. You only get 1 extra pellet. So basically, if you want to 1-tap less, have awful range, do no damage at range, do no torso damage, and have no pen, use this. It'll be the best ammo type ever for being trash. Rubber pellets used to be insanely busted, but yeah, they're not that great anymore. 7.62x39 is a AK type gun. It has 600 RPM, has a very similar AK type stats, but actually does about the same damage, but a tiny bit more. It also has a pretty quick reload time, and I'm not using the best setup for the recoil, but yeah, the recoil is pretty bad on it. I am not gonna lie, but I'm gonna be real. This sounds pretty cool as an AK. Like, I really like the sound effect on this, and the reload time is very good as well. I'm gonna be real, the AK is kind of, you know, better, and the recoil on this is kind of weird and bouncy, but honestly, I feel like this is almost a side grade to the AK-47, which is pretty weird considering the other assault rifle conversions on this are not really that great most of the time. 223 and 9mm are, in my opinion, not really that great and not really worth using, but this is worth checking out if you have it. I don't think it's really worth pre-buying because by the time you have this gun, you got the AK-47, so maybe if you're like, I want more of a different variant of the AK-47, or you like the sound effect, because I like the sound effect, it's pretty cool. This is honestly going to be pretty good. Like, I could put a full setup on this and actually not really beam people, but do better than my actual shotgun setup, because I use basically a delta sight, a muzzle brake, and 2 green lasers on every single shotgun I have, because it will make your hipfire recovery speed better, it will make your critical recoil lower, which is really all that matters, and I like the delta sight, so that's why I use this setup. It's a very bare bones setup that I really just enjoy on all the shotguns. It's a cool conversion, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10. I think it's actually a very viable conversion. The reload is fast, the damage is really good. Obviously, it's just kind of AK type stats, but it's got some different recoil as well. I really do like the sound effect, and the recoil is like, yeah, it's there. It's a lot of recoil, but at the same time, man, I find this easier to hit shots with than the AK-47, simply because the camera recoil is not quite as strange, even if it might be a little bit less accurate, but it's about the same accuracy, I'm not gonna lie. The AK-47 used to have way better recoil than it does now. Nowadays, I don't really use the gun anymore, but I actually like this. It's pretty good, so I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Pretty cool gun. Next up, though, we have Slugs, and Slugs are probably like 350 RPM. Looks like it can torso kill, right? No, it can't. Stylus was absolutely trolling us when they added this ammo type, because here's the thing, it does 74.25 times 1.2. Now if you put that in your calculator, it adds up to about 99 damage. So yes, it can almost torso kill, but it can't one shot, which is annoying. However, it's a 2-shot to the limbs and a 1-shot headshot at 350 RPM. But you gotta keep in mind, it doesn't have 100% accuracy. That's right, it has spread like a shotgun, because Slugs is now a gun with choke, which is kind of annoying. It doesn't make it as skill-based, but at the same time, you shouldn't really be using Slugs for a long range, so yeah. It also has a bad max damage range and frick, I can't even hit this guy. I'm gonna be real, not a really great ammo type. It's one of the better non-torso killing slug conversions, considering the recoil is pretty good and it shoots so fast, but at the same time, don't use it. It's not worth using. I'm gonna give this one a 5 out of 10. It's a really awful, like, mistake of a DMR that really just doesn't hold up super well. Like, you can hit your headshots and all, but like, use the TCR. Now, next up, we have a very controversial ammo type known as the Saiga 12 automatic conversion. It is the conversion that makes the Saiga 12 an automatic gun. Here's the thing about this. It doesn't increase your RPM. It just makes your recoil much worse, like 40% worse, and it also makes your spread worse, and it locks your gun on auto. But the thing is, like I said, it doesn't make the gun fire faster, so you can already get the gun to shoot this fast. If you just click it correctly, it has worse spread and much worse recoil. This is a mistake of a conversion. It is not good. Do not use this. It's just bad. Don't use the Saiga 12 auto conversion. I'm glad it's like this, because if you're really like that bad at the game that you can't use a semi-auto shotgun that has 350 RPM, I guess you could use it, but it really sucks, so you may as well just not use it. Like, I'd probably honestly recommend the USAS over this, and that's really saying a lot. Yes, this fires at 350 RPM. That's faster than the AA12 by 50 RPM, but at the same time, like, the USAS is 100 more than that, and it isn't a dumb conversion that makes the gun objectively worse, so please do not use this conversion. That's a 4 out of 10, very bad. Next up, we have the 308 Winchester conversion, which will actually do 44 to 32 with a torso multiplier. So it can almost 2-shot torso, but it can't. But it can 3-shot to the torso at any range. The problem with it is the recoil is pretty high. It's not the worst recoil of all time or anything like that. That man is camping. And it also doesn't fire super fast, and it has a lot of kick. Just some vertical recoil, as you can see. But I'm not gonna lie, like, this is kind of like an AG3 of sorts, but like the old AG3, you know, not as great as the old AG3. Can't 3-shot limb, but it can 3-shot torso, and it's actually a pretty decent conversion as well. I'm not gonna say it's super great, but I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. And the reason for that is because it's not a bad battle rifle. If you want a slow firing, high damage kind of battle rifle conversion, it really doesn't do too bad. The RPM is really nothing to write home about. It's like M3A1 RPM. So keep in mind the M3A1 is gonna be way better in close range, and since this can't 2-shot torso, it's kind of weak in close range if you really think about it. The recoil makes it feel powerful. At range, it holds up damage pretty well. So I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. I don't think it's that great, but it's actually a decent conversion. It used to be better, I do believe, back when the AG3 had the 35 min damage, and then they nerfed it alongside the AG3 to make it not like a direct AG3 upgrade, which is cool, but it has its own niche, which is kind of nice. So next up, we have the 9.6 by 53 millimeter Lancaster conversion, which is an absolutely awful conversion. I don't like this. Here's the thing. It can't 1-shot torso. The pen is cool, I guess. The ranges are pretty good. The multis are not that great for a sniper type conversion. And it does have 10 rounds and 105 RPM, which is cool and all, but this is really a trash conversion. It's a pretty effective, like, 2-shot at any range, which is cool and all. Have you forgot that the Scar SSR exists and does, like, literally this, but, like, double the velocity, double the RPM? Yeah, this is really not that great. I'm gonna give this one a 5 out of 10 because it's actually still pretty usable, but it just doesn't need to exist. So yeah, you really should never use this. It's very expensive as well. Last up, we have the 50 BMG Saiga 50 conversion, and you're probably like, what is he gonna say? Is he gonna say that this is good? And I'm actually gonna say that this is an alright conversion, and that's pretty crazy. Here's my thinking on this. It's a slightly faster BFG with a little bit of choke, really slow crosshair reduction speed, I guess, but it can limb kill. It does pretty good damage. Torso damage is insane for some reason. It has 300 to about 280 torso, which is really funny, and it's a pretty funny overall conversion. It's not that great. I'm going to be giving this one a 6 out of 10, but if you want like a slightly different BFG and you have the BFG, and also do not pre-buy this instead of the BFG, because I'd say the BFG is a little bit better. The BFG is rank 65 and this is rank 63. So if you really wanted to pre-buy the 50 BMG conversion because you have the Saiga, you probably have the BFG, and also this is 5,000 kills, so it's probably like 3,000 credits. So if you're going to pre-buy a 50 BMG on the Saiga or pre-buy the BFG, pre-buy the BFG, please. People were kind of scared that this would be like some kind of, oh no, people are going to get an early access BFG. No, they're not. They're going to get it 2 ranks early and spend way more credits than they actually need to. Don't purchase this conversion, but hey, if you really want it, it's really not that bad. Not underrated or anything. It's pretty rated. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, gamers, if you guys did enjoy, that is ranking every Saiga conversion in Phantom Forces, make sure to like and subscribe and comment your favorite Saiga 12 conversion down below, and make sure to, yeah, like, subscribe. And also, please subscribe. Like, seriously, a lot of people are not subscribed. I don't know the exact number. I don't check my YouTube analytics like that and look at that number, so I don't really know, but it's probably something like 70% of you guys are not subscribed or something. See you guys in the next one. Goodbye. What? That didn't hit? Got him.